Hi everybody, Coach Steve here. Hope you are having a great day and have had an even better week and are ready for this week's workout. Now, what you're going to find with today's routine is that we are building off of the previous movements that we've used over the last few weeks. We've introduced a few new things. We're going to tweak those a little bit to increase the difficulty and challenge for you. Mainly in a balanced way for one of our exercises, but also we're going to be working on a little bit more strength and just increasing the difficulty on a few things. So just continually looking to build off of the great work that we've done so far. Today you're going to need your tubing, as we have in the last few weeks, at hip height. Along with that, you're going to need your sliders. And hopefully you've got your water and towel close by so that those are ready for our rest and recovery bits. Now, today we're going to be going through our warm-up as usual, and then we're going to have our 4 movements that are going to be our primary exercises for today's workout. We are then going to add in 2 muscular exercises. And then we're going to get right back into those 4. So it's really following the sequences we have. So if you haven't been along for the ride so far, don't worry, you'll catch on pretty fast. So I'd really like everyone to focus on posture today, really keeping those shoulders back, proud chest, and nice and tall. Nice long lines so that we're very stable in the movements that we're doing. So with that all being said, I'm going to have a quick little drink to start, and then we're going to start with our lunges and our jogging, hip circles, and then we'll get right into our routine. So as we know, and these are my favorite movements, we've got that forward lunge with the overhead reach. And then we're going to step back and sweeping down at the ground. All right, so as we do that, you're going to be looking at your hands up and hands sweeping back. And that's 1. All right, 4. And that's 2. 3 and 4, and again, as you're reaching, hopefully you're feeling all of that muscle and tissue stretch. Great. Other side. Just taking your time, slowly building up. And last one. And back. Great. All right. Now we have our lateral lunge. With the lateral lunge, we're going to add all of the components that we've slowly been building in. So we're going to step, you're going to reach across and extend to the sky. And hopefully I'm going to have a straight line from the ground right to the sky with through my shoulders and arms. All right, so 4 to the left, 4 to the right. That's 2. 3. And 4. Great. Other side. And as we do these exercises, and we do them left and right, I want to ask you to pay attention to the way that your body moves left and right. Is there a side that feels a little clunky? Just doesn't quite move the way the other side does? Because if that's the case, And what we want to do is we want to really kind of focus on those movements that we feel the difference in, and see if we can slowly build our flexibility and control so that everything feels equal on each side. Now, that is a challenge we all face. So now we have our squats to our calf raise. So you can have your hands in front at shoulder height. It's going to keep us up. You can throw your arms out long. Put your hands on your hips if you like. Whatever is going to help you be the most stable. Now when we do this, feet are straight forward, under knees, and we're here with our arms square. We're going to sit back. And as we come up, going to get onto our toes. All right? I'm going to place my hands way out in front. I'm going to squat back and come up. Raise onto the toes. Great. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, and 8. Great. Shaking that out. All right. Now, if you remember, we have our hip circles. So I'm going to just stand on one leg. I like to have my hands for balance. Just going to reach that leg out and around 4 times. All right. Up, back. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, I didn't mention it as we started that, but that proud position, nice and long and tall. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Shaking it out. And let's get a little jogging in. Just moving from side to side, just getting the whole body bouncing as we get ready for our routine. Now, with our tubing exercises, whenever we're using resistance, we're going to look to slowly build off of the levels that we have. So if you feel that the weight that you have and the resistance that you have with your tubing is a little easy, and afterwards, after you've done this set, you feel like you could have done more, then perhaps maybe what we want to do is just add a little bit more resistance. Okay? And shaking that out, you can have a little break, quick drink. And then we're going to get into our routine. So I'm just going to quickly go over the exercises as you still have a moment as to what we're going to be doing. So our first exercise is going to be a single leg jump. So we've done side to side. All right. So today we're going to go forward and back. Okay. 10 times forward, 10 times back. We're going to do that on the left. We'll do that on the right. And then we're going to kind of add a few of our exercises together. So we've done our lateral lunge to a balance position. And what we're going to do from there is we're going to take it out into that nice big airplane deadlift position. So again, that's going to look like this. I'm going to come here to my balance, and then we're just going to go out into that nice tabletop. Hopefully I'm going to execute a little bit better once we get started. Then we're going to go with our shuffle. So if you remember last week, we did our shuffle, boom, hip drive. So today we're going to actually add a second hip drive. So we're going to go hip, hip, and then our shuffle. Boom, boom, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so we're going to add that second twist in. And then we're going to do our floating tabletop. As I grabbed the tubing a little too early, we're going to do that floating table. And what that looks like is that hands and knees position. We're gonna get our knees off the ground and we're gonna walk forward this time, keeping ourselves nice and level. We're gonna do that 10 seconds forward and back, and then we'll have 5 seconds rest. We're gonna do that 3 times. All right, so that all taken care of. Let's get right into our workout. So, hands on hips. We're gonna be able to flow right through these now that we all have an idea of what we're doing. So we've got our single leg hop, 10 forward, 10 back. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great. Switch sides, shaking it out, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, if you're a little faster, good for you. I'm gonna work up. All right, so as I demonstrated a moment ago, we are going to do our lateral lunge. Sitting down, we're gonna explode up to our balance position, and then slowly, we're gonna go into our nice deadlift, airplane, tabletop, whatever you'd like to refer to it, but we're gonna try and get nice and flat and level. All right, so we're gonna do 6 on the left, 6 on the right. All right, so here we go. Go down, up, and into our tabletop or airplane. Great, up. And that's 2. That's 3, I'm gonna shift over a little bit. That's 4. If you need to foot down because you're gonna lose your balance, that's okay to reset as well, that's fine. Whoa, and I'm a little off balance there. And do that again. There we go. And 2 more. Great. Last one, extending everything out. Excellent. Really felt that at the end. All right. Other side. Lunge out. Back to our balance position, arms out, and nice and long. Great, I think what I'll do is I'll maybe go sideways. So we're lunging out, balance, and down to our airplane. And that's 3. I'm a little balance challenged today. How about you? I'm sure you're all nailing this. Especially those figure skaters out there. I hope you like this one. Last one. Up. And extending that leg out straight. Body flat. Great. All right. Shaking that out. Now, if you remember, we have our shuffle now. So we're gonna hip turn once, keeping our shoulders square to the front, back, again, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2. All right, so we're going to do that 6 times across, all right? And here we go, so hip drive, 1, 2, hip drive, great. And 1, 2, throw that hip back, throw the hip, good. And 1. Great, last one. And back. And, all right. Oh, shaking that out. And hopefully you're feeling yourself speed up in that quick hip drive. We're gonna build on that today as well. And we're gonna get down into that tabletop position, floating table. So we're nice and tall. I'm gonna raise those knees up off the ground. We're gonna walk forward, trying to remain level, and back. All right, here we go. Last one. And relax. Take a moment. Up again. Here we go. Hopefully I'm staying low and I'm not rising. Last one. Down. And one more time. Here we go. Up. Last one. Great. All right. We've all earned a rest, some water. Okay. So, with our tubing exercise today, if you remember, we started a couple weeks ago, just our press. And then last week, we did a press with a rotation. So today, we're gonna add a squat. So we're gonna have our arms out, squat, in, out, rotate, okay? And as I do that, remember with our just hip rotations a moment ago, this is exactly what we're gonna do. So as we go to rotate, we're gonna throw that hip around, and that's gonna help us drive all that power that we have. Use the glute, use the ground to help create that momentum. And then after that, we're going to do our push-ups with sliders. And as we do it, we're going to do our push-up, and then we're going to bring our feet into our hands or our hips, if you will. And we're going to do each side, and then we'll do our push-up again. So that's push-up, feet, feet. If you don't have the sliders, then we're simply going to jump our feet in, jump them out, jump our feet in, and jump them out. All right? All right, so here we go. So I have my hands out, squat, in, out. I've got tension on the band, and rotate. That's one. Squat, in, out, rotate. Two. Squat. Three. Four. Proud chest, nice and tall. 5. 6. 7. 8. Feel those through the shoulders. 9. And 10. Great. Shaking it out. And other side. Hands out. Squat. In, out, rotate. Great. Squat. In, out, rotate. That's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Great work, everybody. Keep going. 7. Again, that proud chest. 8. 9. Great work. And 10. All right. My shoulders are a little tired. How about you? All right. Shaking that out. Let's get those gliders in place and get those down. And I'm gonna have my toes on them. Okay, we're into our push-up position. So again, after our push-up, we're gonna slide those feet in and back. So it's just great for those obliques, all right? So here we go. 1. It's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Great work, everybody. 7. 8. 9. And last one. Up, in. Oh, get those sliders. And out, and in, and out. Great stuff. Oh, I'm really feeling this today. Hope you are as well. Oh. Certainly spending my time with you each week is definitely improving my fitness. All right. Okay, so shaking those arms out, and we're going to revisit all those same exercises we just performed with the hops, the lunge to balance, our shuffle, and our floating tabletop. Okay. So, if you're ready to get underway, I'm gonna place those hands on our hips and forward and back 10 times. Here we go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great, shaking it out. Here we go, other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, great stuff. Super fast, super fast. All right, now we have our lunge to balance. So our lunge to balance, and then our deadlift. Great stuff. That's one. Lunge, balance, deadlift. And that's 3. Hopefully you're feeling this is a little easier than the first time. Body warms up, learns pretty quickly. 4. 5. And 6. Great stuff. So much easier the second time around. All right. Out, up, and 1. 2. 3. 4, and 5. Great work. Stretch those arms out. Last one, best one. Great job, everybody. Shaking that out. All right. So our next is that hip, hip, shuffle, shuffle. All right. Shaking it out. I'm gonna maybe turn sideways to you here. So we got our hip turn. Shoulders are gonna remain square. All right, so here we go. Shuffle, shuffle, hip, hip, shuffle, shuffle. Last one. All right. Great work. And now down into our floating table. Their forward and back motion. Starting in that good position. Arms, shoulders, back, and up. Here we go. Keep those hips down. Great, relax. And up again. Great. Last one. And up. One more time, forward and backwards. Outstanding work, everybody. You've earned a drink and a towel. And hopefully I've corrected I noticed there's a little bit of a ruffling on my microphone, so hopefully I've been able to fix that and see if I can prevent that from happening in the future. But this has just been a great workout so far. Hope you've enjoyed it. Now I'm going to get into our cool down. So same cool down as usual. We've got our forward reach with our lunge, and then our posterior reach with posterior lunge. So let's get right into it now. All right, so just nice, easy reach up. Great. And then as we sweep back, you can point that toe to your nose, and that will give you a little bit more calf and hamstring stretch as you just point that toe to your nose. Okay. And you're still gonna feel that stretch through the hamstring without the toe. But if I were to do that and then add the toe, just a little bit more. So flat foot, and then point my toe. Ooh, last one. And toe. Whew. You feel that extra little grab with that one? All right, so forward. And backward. And then that toe. I feel like I'm doing the same leg. And back. And there we go. And 2 more. Oh, that's just so nice. And last one, best one. Down, back, and toe. Great. Okay. Now we have our lateral reach. Reach, extending back. Great, that's one. Three, and four. Great, all right, other side. It's one. Two. Three. And four. Great stuff. Shaking it out. Good work. Now, we're just going to do a little bit of our shoulder roll forward. It's just going to allow everything to just kind of roll down to the ground. And then just slowly roll everything back up so that we're standing straight up over our feet again. All right, let's do that one more time. Down, curling, curling. And then again, slowly up to that proud position. Great stuff. All right, down to our hands and knees. A little bit of our cat to cow. So hands under our shoulders, knees under hips, pressing up and away from the ground, and then dropping everything down. That's one. Pushing away and dropping down two. Three. Last one up. And last one down. All right. Hands out in front. We're going to sag our hips back into our child pose. Really feel that lengthen. Feel that stretch through your lats, your underarms, chest, through your groin as you sit back. All right, just slowly coming up. And we're going to go with our wide lunge position. With our hand posting on the ground. Driving our hip forward. So we're getting that stretch. Okay, reaching back. Looking at those fingers. And then reaching down and through. And looking at those fingers. Try to drive that hand and reach as far as you can each way. And through. And up. Through. Okay, last one. And through. Great work. All right. Other side. I'm going to take a different angle here for you. So we're going to be through, going to reach back and look around, and then down and through, and up and back. Down and through. All right, we have two more of those. And as we do that, I'm just going to kind of wrap things up and say I hope you enjoyed today's routine and the way that we have been building each week off of the exercises that we did the previous workout. So this is all designed to continue again, to take us along that road and on our journey to the Winter Games. And I'm just, again, super excited to be along for the journey with you and to be a part of these workouts, and hope you have a great week. And we will see you next week for another routine building off of what we've learned today. Take care. Have a great week. Bye now.